Honda has updated the City, and it is the 5th generation version that gets a slew of changes, some additional safety features, and it's obviously done to keep with the times. It's also looking a lot more sporty than before, and in this video I'm going to be talking all about the Honda City and what you get as a package. I'm Vikram Gore, you're watching Motorscribes. I'm inside the new Honda City, and this story is all about this machine. With the Honda City for 2023, you have received a few visual upgrades as well. So if you remember what the Honda City looked like when it came out last year, the first thing that catches you is that chrome bar that runs across the front is now a lot sleeker, and I think it makes the vehicle look a little bit more upmarket. And because it is sleeker and slightly thinner, it gives the vehicle the visual look of having a wider stance. The other big change, of course, are the front and rear bumpers. The front bumper now has a more sporty, edgy look to it. There's a little bit of carbon fiber running across at the very bottom, which looks pretty amazing. And just taking those changes into account, it really brightens up the front. It gives the City a slightly more sporty touch. And in fact, the grille also has been changed to suit this new persona of the City. At the rear, again, the older one had a slightly more plain Jane bumper, and now with the new slightly more sporty bumper, which also gets carbon fiber inserts in it that give it almost a diffuser-like look when looked straight on from the back, it really brings out that sporty elegance to the vehicle right there. The City also rides on new machine-cut dual-tone alloys, which do their bit in sprucing up the exterior. As far as the cabin is concerned, the Honda City remains a nice, plush, upmarket sedan. I really like the sense of space that you get within the cabin. The seats feel great, the fabrics feel great, all the materials are nice and top-notch. The fit and finish is outstanding, and now on the hybrid version you also get a very neat carbon fiber finish across the dash, which again looks absolutely spot on. So Honda has tried to play a slightly more sporty card with this upgrade, and that's what you get with the new City, well, the upgraded City. And as far as features on board are concerned, you've got a nice driver information display, a good touchscreen system which has been updated to manage wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You've got a better reverse camera on board. So you've got a more high-def, high-resolution reverse camera that does the trick for you. Unlike the earlier version, this was a much-needed upgrade that Honda has brought about. And with the new updated City, you also get wireless charging. So on the HEV version, it's a permanent wireless charging unit down here, while on the regular petrol version, it's a plug-and-play wireless charger that you can actually pull out and remove if you need it. We're driving both cars today out here at Motorscribes. We've got our hands on the petrol as well as on the HEV. So I will be talking about both throughout the video. But having said that, overall they're almost identical in terms of fit and finish, space, features, and all of that. There's really not too much going on that's startlingly different. I think the only standout feature obviously with the HEV is that you do get the electronic park brake, and you do get the wireless charging unit that's permanent on board. But going back to the space, going back to the fit and finish, it's a beautiful cabin, really well laid out, very plush, great back seats as well. So there's really no complaining about that. I think the Honda City has always had that going for it, and this generation one especially is looking really premium. Key features on the cabin include a really nicely laid out dash. You get a 7-inch high-definition driver information display. There's an 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system, and that also features a better rear view camera. There was a lot of complaints about the older City having a very low resolution camera, but that has been sorted out with this upgrade, and now what you get is a rather nice HD resolution camera, which does its bit to ensure that when you're backing out of tight spots, it's rather easy. The other big changes include wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on board. The HEV gets a permanent wireless charger, while the petrol versions get a plug-and-play wireless charger that can be removed and stored away if you're not using it. And all the variants of the Honda City now come with a PM 2.5 air filter. So the cabin gets a lot of fresh air, something that we've seen more and more manufacturers doing, especially when it comes to markets like Delhi and Bombay and Bangalore, where we're seeing air pollution levels rising. So you get a nice clean cabin to be in during those times. So these are the big changes. Of course, the City remains nice and plush. It's got that sense of space and sense of grandeur that goes with it. And there's really no complaints in terms of space allocation and overall fit and finish of the cabin. Now, before I get talking about the enhanced safety features on board the new Honda City, since I have been driving it around, and I've been predominantly driving it out on the streets of Noida, a little bit of a nice run on some empty roads over here, you really get to enjoy what the City is all about. I think the level of comfort that it delivers is really top class. It's great to be seated in there. The ride quality is amazing. The steering is nice and light. So the City has grown. It has become a very sorted mid-size sedan. And I think that for families out there looking for a nice plush ride that is extremely efficient, the City definitely be, it should be on their list of considerations out there. The sedan segment is heating up. We are finally seeing a lot of action coming back into the segment, and the City has been the undisputed leader of this segment. But, it is just one of these drives, and getting to know the City once again, that sort of reaffirms every thought that you had with it. So as I was out there driving, enjoying that smooth, plush, cushiony ride, I couldn't but help think about the fact that, you know what, the City is something that has just moved forward in a direction that is still very apt for today's market. So yeah, I mean, you're not going to be disappointed with the ride quality. You're not going to be disappointed with the response of the steering. Again, like I said before, don't expect it to set 0 to 100 km/h, speed records, but it is a vehicle that does everything right and feels just right. As far as what you get under the hood, nothing has really changed over there. So you've got the Honda City being offered with the 1.5-liter iVTEC petrol engine that delivers about 120 bhp and 145 Newton meters of torque. And this engine is known for its refinement. It's still one of the best engines out there in the market. Extremely silent, extremely smooth, and just a lot of fun to drive. And it's extremely efficient as well. So you get about 17 to 18 kilometers to the liter with just the pure play petrol model. And over the years, Honda has tuned this engine to be more towards the efficiency side of the equation rather than just out and out performance. And while I personally do miss that spirited drive of the earlier VTECs, this is not really a slouch. It is a fun vehicle to drive. It does everything just right, and you get that right amount of power as well. Going to the eHEV, which is the Honda hybrid City, that also gets a 1.5-liter iVTEC engine that runs the Atkinson cycle to be a little bit more fuel efficient, and it is paired with an electric motor, and it is a strong hybrid. So it can run in pure electric mode, it can run in hybrid mode, which is the electric and petrol combined power output, and in pure petrol mode as well. extremely efficient. It delivers, in terms of power output, it's got 126 bhp and about 253 newton meters of torque. And as far as mileage is concerned, it really ups the game here, because you get about 22 kilometers to the liter with it, even on a city drive. So great engines, great choices under the hood over there. Nothing's really changed with this upgrade, but what has changed is definitely in the safety department. Now coming to the big change, which is in the safety department, you've got what Honda likes to call Honda Sensing, and this is going to be available across all trims of the City except for the base S trim on the petrol. So that's a big jump up over there, and it uses a powerful front camera to allow for these functions to happen. And there's a total of 6 functions that you get through Honda Sensing on the City. So you've got number 1 being your collision mitigation braking system. So it senses an obstacle and it will hit the brakes for you. You've got lane keep assist. You've got road departure mitigation, which again, while they sound similar, they're very different. Lane keep assist keeps you in your lane and the steering will correct, and you shouldn't drive with your hands off the wheel, but you will feel it buzzing or shaking and pointing you towards getting back towards the center of the lane. Should you not have your hands on the wheel for any reason, it will self-correct. So that is a nice touch over there. The road departure mitigation system is that it senses that you're going totally off the road, you're veering off the road, and it will again correct you on that front as well. So you've got adaptive cruise control as well. On the petrol models, it works from 30 kilometers and onwards. On the HEV, it actually starts from the get-go. So adaptive cruise control is now available on the Honda City, and that's a great touch. And then you've got a lead car departure notification system. So when you're in stop-go traffic, it will tell you that the car in front of you has moved. And the last feature that you get is the auto high beam. I think this is again something that's very apt for our market, especially if you're going on long drives. Everybody tends to drive with their high beams on, and rightly so. I won't argue it, because some of our roads, some of our streets are not well lit, and it's very difficult to see an obstacle on the road. Speaking from personal experience, down here in Tamil Nadu, you have these road barriers that you cannot see unless you're driving on a high beam in the first place. But to constantly flick that switch, to not irritate the drivers coming at you, it does get to be a pain. So having an auto high beam function is great. It's something that you really enjoy. And so these are the 6 features of Honda Sensing. Obviously Honda has upgraded and has spread it across the range, which I think is an absolutely fantastic thing to do, especially with safety growing the way that it is. So that is the big upgrade about the Honda City and the HEV. And it brings in and ushers in that new level of safety, which is also a very strong pillar that Honda stands for. So there you have it, folks. The Honda City has been finally upgraded and it's got a lot going for it. There's a lot more car to have. You do get the updated safety systems on board. It's got a nice new wider look and a wider stance, which does bring out its elegance even that much more. And as a package, I think it's something that really wins you over as a premium plush machine that you could really enjoy and take for a spin. Of course, how it stacks up against the competition is something to be checked. And I do have a competition check video out on the channel as well, where I talk about what the Honda City is going to go up against. So do check that out too. But having said that, it's a vehicle that does everything just right. I think whether you go for the petrol or you go for the HEV version, there's really no bad choice to be made over here. Extremely refined engines, extremely refined powertrains, and great in terms of mileage, and just enough pep to keep you happy. Me personally, I would have enjoyed a little bit more, but then the City is now more of an all-round mid-size luxury sedan. that you're looking at in the sub 20 lakh sort of bracket. And I think the features have been put up in that way. The changes have been made to suit that sort of clientele. So that's where the City stands, and this is obviously my take on what you get with the City. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you liked what I had to say. And if I did miss anything, please do leave a comment below, and I will get back to you. And do subscribe and share. We at Motorscribes are really building out a community here of like-minded auto enthusiasts, and I hope that you'd be happy to join in and be a part of what we are doing. So hit that subscribe button, leave a comment behind if you do have any questions or want to tell me something about me or the car. So I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. On that note, I'm going to sign off, and thank you for watching this review.